All right, Panther fans, Stu, light them up. I tell you. Now, what they did last night was they tricked us. I said, stop getting behind by 3 goals. So instead, they got behind by 1 goal 3 times, and that's that's what they did to us. Um, Never felt out of that one. Obviously, you know what I mean. We never feel out of one anyway. But you were there.
Nope.
You had to have a hell of that. That had to be an enjoyable game because it pretty much had everything.
Yeah, I mean they came out. They came out playing. You know, St. Louis is a great team,
Yep.
which I knew it was going to be a tough battle. And this was a game that had everything. And the referees definitely played a part in this game. I actually was texting Randy. I watched the replay of the game last night,
Right.
and somewhere I started. Randy liked one of my texts about watching the replay of the game and
Right.
blah
Right.
blah
Right.
blah blah blah. So we started texting, and Randy's funny because he can't really public comment on, but
Yeah.
he kind of like maybe shook his head. Yeah, there was at least
Yeah.
three penalties like back to back. It was a
Right.
sequence where Huberto got tripped,
Right.
Bennett got
right.
tripped,
Right.
and then there was
The stupid thing, the stupid embellishment with the
and the
interference on
yeah.
Lomberg. I mean, to me, I mean, maybe, and this is why the referees called it, because to me, it really wasn't even barely interference. The puck was there. And then Lomberg was clearly just trying to keep his balance. He does the little spin. And before he was down, he was practically back up again.
It was total bullshit. No embellishment.
No,
it was interference, but it was total,
Yeah.
So that made me nuts. I mean, it was a good crowd. Supposedly there's 13,000 there last night.
There was a lot of blue in the stands. There was a lot of blue.
There was a lot of St. Louis fans. And there was in the suite next to me, there was a lot of there was a whole bunch of St. Louis fans.
Which normally I would say that it looks like it was a lot of purple in the stands because I'm colorblind, but because they're named the Blues, I know it was blue. So they tried to trick me.
But that they scored again, defensive laps. The second one, the man was like all alone. I mean, I think that was on the 4-on-4, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that was on the 4-on-4, and he was just all alone. And I bitched about it, and you said it was a bullet, and you're not wrong. They were going for Bobrovsky's glove hand all night.
Yeah, it was right in front of me. I mean, he couldn't stop that.
Yeah.
I mean, let's put it this way: if he stopped it, it would have been one of those.
It would have just been the guy shot it into the goal.
Reaction saves,
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Listen, all in all, I thought we played a great game. I really did.
Look, you got to give credit to St. Louis too, especially in that overtime. I forget who it was, but the one dude loses his stick, and they couldn't get off the ice, and he must have laid down 2-3 times, and he's just blocking shots out there. Point blank, one-timers, no stick. For whatever reason, man, St. Louis wanted it. They wanted those 2 points. They were not content with coming in and going, all right, well, we got a point on the road. Let's pack it up. That was some playoff hockey there in overtime for them.
I was not happy at all with that power play, that overtime power play. I mean, come on, guys, you can't just keep passing and passing and passing. You eventually got Ekblad probably had at least 2 or 3 opportunities to shoot. Same thing with Huberto on the other side.
Yeah, but they keep reclutching and resetting. I don't know if it's a timing.
I mean, they were trying, and what I think they were trying to do is, Reinhart was in the corner down,
right,
and then I think Bennett was like hovering. I think what they were trying to do is get it down there, and then Reinhart, pass it in front.
Right.
That wasn't working.
No,
but I mean, I don't understand. You have a guy in front. You have a guy with a cannon, number 5. Let him blast away.
Yeah. Well,
and they did it. I mean, it was just a wasted. Just
by the
really
time they did,
It gets me crazy when you
I
have. I
know.
mean, how rare is it that you get a power play in overtime?
I know. I know.
To
At
me,
the
it should be
end,
an automatic goal. I'm sorry.
no, it's okay. Just I was just speaking to what you said about Ekblad. Um, on at the end of the power play when he finally did get an opportunity to one time it, he could barely move his stick. They'd been out on the ice for so long. He was so exhausted. You could see it that he
Yeah,
just whiffed. And then that's when St. Louis got the fuck back. But also Harros, right? That's the goalie's name. But before the game, right before the
so
game, they flashed
Huso,
Huso.
Huso.
Yeah, yeah, I get it backwards.
All right.
But right before the game, they flashed the statistics for the two starting goalies. He'd only played 5 games, but his numbers, all his numbers were better than Bob's. So he's been playing well, is the point. And he continued that last night. I mean, when you give 50 shots on a guy, you've had a
Yeah,
night. You know what I mean?
50 shots was. I really was very surprised when I watched the replay and realized that they had taken 50 shots. I mean, that's crazy.
yeah,
The other
yeah, yeah.
night they showed a stat of shots on goal, and the Panthers were always number one, and they had like dropped to number 6 or whatever
Right, right.
because of the couple of games where we didn't have
Yeah, 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 yeah.
at least third. So you figure, we had 50 shots. What in the Capital game? 50 shots in this game.
Yeah, I think
I mean,
Kyle was yeah,
that's
Kyle
a
was
hundred.
watching
That's a
the
hundred
end.
right there. Well, before I lose my train of thought,
Yeah,
let's go
yeah, yeah,
back to the
yeah,
overtime. And
yeah.
I was happy to see the coach giving Lundell and Mammon an opportunity.
Yeah,
And I think Uyghur was out there with them.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
This kid is definitely, I mean, he's earned the respect
Yeah.
and his opportunity to do anything. What did I text you right after he scored that shootout goal?
I don't know. I have to look.
What I text you is basically, obviously, I was happy that he went first and that he should have been going first this whole year.
Oh, you're talking about Lundell. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
on the
yeah, yeah.
shootout.
Right. Well, that's what I talked about that in a recap. We talked about that when Barkov went out, was that this was going to force Brunette to do some things that he wouldn't have otherwise done. So the only reason to me and my Brunette, I think would have put Barkov out there again, number one, even though Barkov is, missed so many times in a row. So the fact that Barkov's out kind of forced Brunette's hand to make a change, just like he with the power play and a couple of the other things. It's like forced him to make a change that hopefully he'll stick to it. Like we saw last night with the power play, for whatever reason, he goes back on the first power play to Ekblad running it. I was screaming like, why? Wait, because
You?
well, it pissed me off because I finally gave him some praise. I said, all right, the fact that he fixed the power play gives me some hope. And what does he do? The first damn shift, he goes back to where it wasn't working.
I don't understand that. I'm shaking my head now, just like I was shaking my head yesterday. I'm like, what the F?
Right. But he did revert back to with Uyghur running it. There at the end, at the last power play we had, I think we had one in the third period, right? And my assumption is, I mean, look, Uyghur's fine to do it, but
That was the Lundell getting need.
Oh yeah. Oh boy, it was glad to see him get back.
That type of penalty should warrant a 5-minute major in a game misconduct, automatic.
Yeah.
All right, you stick your knee out to stop a guy. You're looking to hurt him.
Yeah.
I'm like, I was like, thank you.
Oh no, I know.
Lundell got up and he was okay because I was really worried.
Yeah, no, he's become a key guy quick, especially with Barkov out. To be able to have a guy like that, you could throw anywhere in any situation, and at that age,
at 20 years old.
Yeah.
What really sucks, Eric, is unfortunately, unless he goes on a goal tear, he's not going to win the Rookie of the Year.
No.
And that really sucks because, I mean, we get the luxury of seeing him game in and game out.
How many goals did Huberdeau get? What? I want to look this up. Oh, hold on a second. I'm not trying to.
Go look up the rookie, rookie goal scorers.
Well, I want to look. I want to look and see how many goals
there's
Huberdeau had when he won the Calder.
Oh, that was a shortened season.
It was. That's right. That's right. Yeah, that's a good point. 2013. That's right.
Or something like that.
Let me see.
Let's see if I'm right. Look it up.
I'm looking at the article now. God, you know what? I'm seeing a picture of Huberdeau in 2013. Dude, look exactly like Owen Tippett. The same haircut and everything.
Now I'm really curious to see if my brain cells.
Let's see. Huberdeau scored 14 goals and 17 assists while playing in all 48 games.
So how many points was that?
So that's 31 points.
That's it?
Yeah. 14 goals and 17 assists.
And I thought
in 48 games.
All right.
So that's what, maybe, let's see, 31 and 48, 82. That's about a 55-point pace. Yeah. So
anyway, look up the rookies this year.
Yeah, let's see how.
Who's that? But, again, that's what really sucks about how they determine who the rookie of the year is their scoring. And they don't look at it. They don't look at a guy that is great on the face-off, is great on the penalty kick.
Right. All right, let's
just a beast.
The NHL is the page is loading. Let's see. There's offensive leaders. Oh, come on. Now it had me click on a page that said NHL rookie scoring leaders, but then it's brought me to a page that doesn't look like it's the rookies. Oh, there we go. Yeah, let me get my glasses on. All right. Okay, goal-wise, let's see. There's Lundell with 5. The leader is Lucas Raymond in Detroit. He's got 10 goals and 22 points. Lundell is sitting there at 11 points.
There you go.
So that guy's got double. He's played 5 more games.
It doesn't matter.
I know.
It just sucks.
Jeez. The guy in front, Lucas Raymond, his face-off percentage is 62.5. So yeah.
All right.
He may win. He may win. That's for sure.
Well, again, I went back to I don't know how many videos ago where I said Barkov will be happy to give up the Selke. Bob will be happy to give up the Vezina.
Yeah.
Lundell will be happy to give up the Calder.
Yep.
As long as they lift the big one.
Exactly. Yep. I agree there. And
as much as these guys want to win individual awards, they want to win the cup.
Yeah. Well, especially Bob's won already. Huberdeau's won. Barkov has won. The only thing that Ekblad,
and they haven't won. And they haven't won the big.
Right.
It's a piece of hardware in their living room. Big deal.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's talk about let's just talk about the record, because the 25th game is coming up on Tuesday.
Gosh,
what is the Panthers record right now?
What is that? 17-4-3. Yes, 17-4-3. Yeah. So
I'll let you.
What Stu was alluding to was that early, before the season, he had originally asked for 20 wins in the first 25. And then
22-3. Yeah, and then I said, that might not be realistic.
That might be a bit much.
Yeah, let's drop it down to 18.
Right. So he says, let's drop it down to 18. And I'm going to give Stu more credit here, because we're fixing to get 18, and we lost our coach, and we've been without Barkov and Duclair all these years, all these games. That's got to be worth 2 games. The losing Q and Barkov and Duclair. Well, I guess we can't even say Barkov, because I don't even think we've lost 2 games with Barkov out. Q. We'll blame it on losing the coach. Okay, that first losing streak probably wouldn't have gone 4 games. Maybe it only goes 2, and Stu would have called it exactly. Yeah, and the thing is just as
and I'm not bragging about it. I'm just happy because that's the type of start we need to win the cup. Right. That's the type of first quarter of the year.
Yeah.
You make a serious statement to the rest of the league that we are the team to beat.
Yep.
And again, every morning, I go on Twitter and somebody has posted the standings, and there we are.
Yep.
Again. And Toronto dropped down.
Did they lose?
I actually, when I was texting Randy, he had to go because he was watching the Minnesota-Toronto game.
Right.
Which I ended up, finding on, wherever. So I was watching and didn't realize that Minnesota was up in that game 3-0. And Toronto came back and tied that game. And it went to a shootout, which Minnesota won.
Okay.
Getting a point.
Right. Well, look, the division we know is going to be a dogfight there towards the end. And that's like the two games that we got behind 3 goals. When we come back, we get 2 points in regulation. Those are the games that when we look back at the end of the season and we win by 2 points, by 3 points, we win the division. That's why. Games like that, because the nights we have it, that should be 2 points. But when it's a night we only have it for about 15 minutes and we get 2 points, then you're on to something there.
I looked at. They were not on my original. I think maybe one game was on my original request list, but we play the Maple Leafs twice in April.
Right. Yeah. My dad was actually asking me that last night if we played the Leafs yet, because they're right there in second place on our butt. But back to this game a little bit. Bobrovsky seems to have come back down to earth a little bit. I saw some tweets. It was almost a return of Forgolski again. The only thing that I'm seeing different right now than what he was doing at the beginning of the year is he's not getting that stick down and closing those legs at the same speed that he was. That seemed to have been fixed, but old habits die hard, right? But teams are noticing, and that's with the second or third game in a row now, where one is slipping in. But that one went under his pad. It didn't quite make it.
There was one goal that was 5-hole.
Yeah.
And the other goal beat him above the glove. I forget what happened on the third goal.
Right. But that's kind of been the difference for him between like 2 goals and 3 or 4 is getting that stick down and closing those damn legs, Bob.
But he's also made some great saves.
Yeah. And look, we've talked about it. I mean, we can this team can win with just adequate goaltending, adequate, timely goaltending. You know what I mean? You want to give up a 5-0 goal in the second period? Fine. Now with 4 minutes left in the third, that's all we're asking. Give this offense enough minutes to come back. But
we didn't see the offensive juggernaut in action yesterday. It just happened to be. And again, it wasn't I want to say a fluke, because it wasn't a fluke, but that face-off win by Lundell was amazing when you think of this. Anybody that watches it, and you should go try and find it somewhere, Mammon wasn't directly behind Lundell. He was to the right of Lundell.
Right.
And Lundell's a left-handed shot.
Right.
Somehow he won it and got it over to the right wheelhouse,
right,
and boom, it was in the net before anybody blinked. I saw it live and I'm like, holy shit,
right.
I was like,
right.
But the face-off, watching it time and time again, I must have watched it about 6 times. I was just rewinding and how he won that face-off.
Right.
You watch it in slow motion, it was a thing of beauty.
Yeah.
Because normally, you have a righty in that left corner. You have a righty winning the face-off and a left-handed shot.
Yeah.
He pulls it back, and then that's the one.
Right. Yeah.
2 left-handed shots, and the way he won the face-off and got it over there was just incredible. Incredible.
Now, did you like Lundell's celebration after he scored in the shootout? I was watching that. I got it, and then they showed it on a replay too. That was good. That's a kid that I don't think we've ever seen Barkov show that much emotion. Let's just put it that way.
The kid's really, just like Barkov. He's kind of soft-spoken, but he's 20 years.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
you know, these kids now, I mean, you know, I remember, you know, growing up in the, you know, they used to just raise their stick. You didn't see all this, you know, going down the ice and fist pumping and stuff. And,
yeah.
you know, now it's entertainment, you know, like the National Hockey League has become big time entertainment, just like the other sports. And I love it. I just, you know, I love the sellies.
Yeah.
You always get a selly. You watch Connor McDavid, like every single goal is like
every goal,
you know,
is like Christmas.
His selly's like an Oscar performance.
Right.
It's a lot of fun, but we've had a couple of goals scored by Barkov this year where he showed
a little
practice.
bit. Yeah.
There was one goal where he did some type of fist pump.
Right.
But let's jump real quick because the name Jonathan and brag on him, you know, not shooting enough.
Right.
You can't say enough about, I mean, we're really, really lucky. And, you know, like I get like, and how I keep saying he's the best passer in the NHL. I challenge anybody out there to find me a better passer in the league than Jonathan Huberdeau. The guy's hockey IQ is off the chart. How he knows where guys are. He did it the other night, finding Ekblad. He did it last night. Who was it last night that he found?
Oh, who was that?
He was in the corner.
I want to say
important.
Yeah.
You guys know whatever. He was in the corner again. He found some guy in front, and
right.
You know, but I just wish he would shoot more. And you know, of course, he's got the playmaker mentality.
Right.
You know, last night on that overtime power play, he actually did shoot a few times.
Yeah.
I take that back. He did shoot a couple of times.
Right.
He didn't hit the net.
No, he didn't hit the net. Yeah. No, I know. Well, all right, but
Hoobie's great. He's got he had a 5-point night the other night. I don't know. I think
he's picked it up.
I think he might have had two assists last night. Oh, no, I don't know. And then the game before that, so I thought, where is he in the standings now? I think he was like 6th place the last time I looked.
Let me see.
So then you come back and you ask yourself, okay, so a healthy Barkov, who's the Panther? And you've said it. I know you've come out and said when he's on, Huberdeau's our best player. So
yeah,
you know, but now I guess there's a poll. Who's the better player?
Yeah, Huberdeau is 6th.
Right, Barkov, Huberdeau, or now Ekblad comes in the mix. Who's our best player?
That's a tough one. That's a tough one. When that's a tough one, man. Because when Ekblad,
that's a tough one.
When Ekblad,
now keep in mind, we're winning games without Barkov.
Yeah, no, I know.
I mean, who knows what would have been in the games we lost if we had him? But we are winning games without him.
Let's put it this way: out of those 3. If you had to pick one guy to put the team on their back, I would pick Ekblad, and then Huberdeau, and then Barkov. In terms of a gamer to put the team on their back for a game and will the team to win, Ekblad and Huberdeau. But I would go with Ekblad first. But it's close. It's close. Ekblad more because I think he just plays with that energy and that edge more than Huberdeau does.
Yeah, I would put Huberdeau then Ekblad. Only because just so many goals have been set up that, you know, Huberdeau's set up Bennett, set up Reinhardt.
Right.
That's just, listen, it's just difference of opinion. I'm not taking anything away from Ekblad. I mean, he's having.
It's close. You know, it's close.
Something on, you know, on Twitter I posted is something they were asking about, you know, who the Norris Trophy winner is this year. And I listed all the stats. It was like 8 goals, 15 assists. So he leads in points. He was at the time, this was before yesterday's game, he was a plus 21.
Yeah.
I don't know how many penalties he's taken.
Not a lot.
But the guys, I mean, I think he would have won the Norris last year. And again, who knows how far we would have went last year if we had him in the lineup.
Right.
Because we're pretty much, we've made some, a few great additions, but we're pretty much the same team as we were last year.
Who was at 3C last year?
Weinberg.
That's right. Yeah. Well, Lundell's a little bit better. I'm going to have to. Lundell's a touch better. We've improved.
Weinberg was good on the face-off as well.
Yeah.
And he was good on the PK as well. So,
Weinberg was just one of those guys that was just good. And it was just kind of there and just good, but not. Didn't obviously wow you like Lundell and everything. But I don't
know when he comes back where there's a place for Achari. I hate to say it.
Yeah, no, I talked about that. We talked about that in the stream last night too.
Hate to say it.
I mean, no. There's no way you can take Listerine off the ice, right? I mean, if we're healthy completely,
no way. No. Listerine is my surprise player of the year.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, the kid has just he's just really been surprisingly just surprised.
And Marchment was dynamite when he was playing.
Right.
That was like such a crushing blow when he went down.
Yeah. Well, look, Mammon's not doing so bad now. The first couple of games. Well, I mean, let's put it this way: when you take into if he continues to improve at the level he's been improving, I mean, the first couple of games he didn't look like he belonged on the ice, and all of a sudden, the last couple of games, you're like, all right, we can use this dude. And we don't know what Mammon, we don't know what Marchment's going to be when he comes back. You know what I mean?
Let me see a few more games.
Yeah.
Just like with Carlson. Right. Okay, great. They had a couple of great games, But let me come back to me in 6 more games.
Right.
And then I'll tell you.
I haven't even heard if Marchment's on the ice. I haven't heard that. So I mean,
concussions are weird, man.
I mean, as the later it gets in the year, it may end up being a situation where he goes on LTIR and Mammon gets the spot. I mean, I know you're a Marchment fan, and so am I. But he's been out. It's been a while now.
It was a really bad. He took a really bad hit, man. A dirty hit too.
Right.
And he might never be the same.
No, I know. I mean,
it's amazing, and it's fantastic to see Ekblad come back the way he has in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Let's count last year before the leg injury.
Right.
We're talking up here now.
Yeah.
That kid had 4 concussions. The worst one was that one in Edmonton.
Yeah.
Hendricks just like same type of thing, slammed his head in, and I thought, when you're dealing with the brain,
right?
It's not like one of those things where they can, they can put a metal plate in your leg and put some screws in and fix you up. I mean,
no.
What do you do with the brain? So it's just really sucks because the kid was
he was
really having a good year, and that line was doing really well. But getting back to Achari, I think come around trade deadline, we can talk about it when it happens. I look for Achari and possibly Vetrano to be gone.
Right. Yeah.
Or Tippett, buddy.
Yeah, you shut up. You watch your language on this show. This is a family show.
I'm just being a realist.
I don't know. I mean, look, the hockey stuff set aside, contractually, it would make no sense to get rid of Tippett versus anybody else. What's his? Let me look at his contract before I speak. Let's see. Because we're not going to sign Vetrano. We're not going to pay him with all the guys that we have. So, in terms of Owen Tippett and his contract, let's see here. We have him signed. Actually, this is the last year we have him signed as well. He's a free agent after this season as well. He'll be an RFA. His cap hit right now is $860,000.
Okay, so it's not going to be about the money.
It's not going to be about the money. No, we would have to. And then, he's an RFA. He's not having a spectacular year. I don't know. But Toronto and Achara, those are the ones we've kind of talked about. I mean, Tippett, he could be a piece to add in, but then what do we get? We better be getting something in return. Yeah, at that point, that's not just a throwaway. You know what I mean? That would have to be
Matt Dumba.
All right.
That's the player we target.
Okay. All right. So
you heard it here, folks.
All right. We'll have to watch that. That Stu's got that I know something you don't know glare in his eye.
No, just
it's okay. Hey, play it close to the vest.
I just, I watch certain players, and when I'm watching other games and I'm watching other players, I think to myself, who would I like to see on the Panthers?
Right. Gotcha. Yeah. So, well, it's funny because that's what
who might be available.
Right. Who might be available?
The right price.
Yeah. Well, shit. Now that I'm thinking about it, for Tippett, you would think he wants to bury those shots too because he's playing for a contract. Yeah.
I know you love the guy, but this is the debate that we're allowed to have. Obviously, it's a lot of fun doing this podcast. And one of the things, we can agree on a lot of things, but we also disagree on things. Tippett's not getting the job done, man. He's not living up. He's not living up to expectations or hype or whatever. This kid should be tearing it up. This kid should have at least 10 goals by now. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And you got Denisenko, Heponiemi. I mean, you got Noel. You got guys down in, the AHL that could easily come up and take his spot.
Right.
Okay. So I'm sorry.
Oh, we'll see what happens. It's not over yet.
It's the sad truth for you. And, I'm usually right about these things, unfortunately for you, but I just don't, I'm not seeing what I should be seeing from him, especially playing with Huberdeau and Bennett.
Yeah. Well,
this kid should be tearing it up.
Right. Well,
and I think a lot of it's a confidence issue.
That's what I was going to ask is what do you think the missing piece is?
Yeah. I mean, he finally is getting his, top 6 minutes that you wanted from him. And he's just not, listen, goal scorers,
right.
Number one, goal scorers find their spot.
Right.
They always seem to be in the right spot. And they bury their shots.
Right.
Okay, true goal scorers, snipers, whatever you want to call them. A guy that was Tippett's label. He's going to be our next sniper. And
right.
He hasn't lived up to that label. Sorry.
No, not yet. How many goals did he have last year?
I don't know.
Let me look. Now you got me looking at Owen Tippett's statistics.
It's disappointing because I would like the kid to have success.
Right.
And, you could talk about his other, facets of the game. That's all well and good.
What's interesting is that's what kept him from, that's what everybody said was keeping him from making it, right? All right, so he's 22. Let's see. Last year he had 12 goals and 17 assists in 76 games. He's got 4 and 6, so he's got 10 points in 24 games. So he's like almost quite literally on the exact same scoring pace. Now, I'm not saying I'm not saying that's good or bad. I'm just saying pace-wise, he's exactly, and I agree. He should be at least he should
on this team, he should have at least 8-9 goals by now.
Yeah.
And again, I say that
chances
because he's playing with the best passer in the league and a great center in Bennett.
Well, let's put it this way. He's not playing with them now. The last 3 games he's
been
with the Sequoia tied to a Sasquatch. But no, look. All I'll say about Tippett at this point is I don't disagree. He needs to bury his chances. I don't get concerned about his play in the sense that he is getting his chances and he's not hurting us defensively. So if he can find the scoring touch, he's a damn good player. But
right, but that's not what we're paying him to do.
Well, actually, $860,000. We're paying Lombard more money. We're paying Lombard more money.
We're not paying Tippett for his defensive play. We're paying him for his scoring. and he's not scoring. Made my point. You've made your point. Okay. Lundberg, love that kid.
Yeah, right. See, now, how many goals does Ryan Lundberg have?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Because he's not a sniper. He knows his role. Beautiful. And he whatever scoring we get from him is a bonus.
Right.
He is our spark plug. Game in, game out, 110% every shift. Again, when you go to the game live, you can be, isolate on one player and just watch him up and down and see what he does away from the camera, from on television.
Yeah.
Like, he's like our Brad Marchand, he's like a guy that just annoys players. He gets in people's face. And it's just really fun to watch. He's a great player, and you can't say anything bad about Lundberg. His PK, him on the PK. I think it was him and Lundell last night. On the and it was Reinhardt and Huberto, the other two pairs on the PK. They're really good together. He's good.
Yeah, no, the PK is definitely.
Let's talk about that real quick.
Sure.
I don't know what the stat is for the last, let's say, 4 games. We haven't had more than 2 penalties. We haven't had a game with 4 and 5 penalties that, like at the beginning of the year, we had like 5-6 penalties and they scored like 2 or 3 power play goals.
Yeah. No, we've been cut down for sure.
We've been definitely staying out of the box, which obviously is cutting down on our, goals against power play wise. So
right. Yeah. No,
a good stat to have. I mean, we're not getting a lot of power plays ourselves, but we're the best 5-on-5 team in the league. So
just keep it 5-on-5.
I don't care.
Exactly.
We can put up 5 goals 5-on-5. I mean, it's always nice to get a power play goal or 2.
Yeah. No, just keep it 5-on-5.
I put any team up against us 5-on-5 and see who comes out.
Mm-hmm. No doubt. All right, bud. This was good. And then we got Tuesday night, 8:00, so it's a little bit later. And then Stu and I will be back Wednesday morning after that one. And let's see. Now let's see how many times we can come back from 2-goal deficit inside of a game. We'll play that game next. I assume we'll see Bennington too on Tuesday. I think he's probably ready to come back. All right, guys.